Hello there and good evening. Welcome to the Sohria Alexander Show. How are you today? Hope everyone had a splendid day and that everything you set out to do, that you accomplished it. You know, it is always a pleasure being here with you, and let me hail out those in TV land watching me on Liberty TV Flow 119. I'm hearing you love the show. I got a lot of nice messages from people saying to me that they are enjoying the show, and I really and truly appreciate that. And that is the impetus of the show, is to really come here and share with you. We're not forgetting our radio audience on Liberty 92.3 FM. Welcome. And all those watching me on social media, Facebook, YouTube, and on the Liberty apps, I bid you hello. How are y'all doing, people? I'm sure some of us are very exhausted. Some of us are very tired because, you know, we are into the Carnival season. And I know not all of us in this bacchanal reveling and mate and doing them things. Not all of us in that. I'm not one to do that. But, you know, we watch the calypso shows, the soca and the groovy shows. And I found it to be really good. And, you know, I always say image is everything. And Arthur Ale won the groovy section. And there is something very striking about Arthur Ale. Something very striking about this young man. Wherever you see him, and especially when it comes to him performing, this young man carries himself, presents himself in such a classy manner. When I saw him performing the night, I'm like, okay, this is the king. Now, I didn't want to come on my page or go under the people YouTube live and say he's the one winning, because you know how people can become very finicky. But from the time I saw him, I said, okay, that's the king. Class all the way. And what I like about him, because, you know, I am into my gospel music. I love gospel music. But hey, you could listen to secular music. I don't listen to the nasty ones, right? But when you listen to Arthur Ale's song, it doesn't portray filth. It doesn't portray nastiness. It portrays something like even me, into my gospel music and thing, could listen to him, could enjoy. You understand? And you know, congratulations to this young man. And I hope that others coming up emulate him. You do not have to sing filth to be recognized or to be important, or always a mate, bend down, wind down. You don't really have to sing those things. And you know, Arthur was just purity, wonderful vocals, stage personality. You could give it to Arthur Ale. And this is one of the artists I have been watching silently, following silently, and I just love this young man. I love how he portrays himself. And we need young men like that, who would show, okay, he has his family, he has his beautiful baby daughter, you know, who could portray themselves, hey, I'm into the music industry, but I too have standards. I too have class. I too respect people. You never hear Arthur Ale in any melee, in any roro, in anything whatsoever. Always classy. So congrats to Arthur Ale. And he did a fantastic job. And also, congrats to Nerdy. Nerdy was, let me tell you, he is a true performer. Because my father always says that anytime, you know, because my father was into music, teaching the choir, blah, blah, blah. So, hey, your girl here is into music too. She reads music, she plays music. So, my father always said, when you are on the stage and you're performing, you must never exit the stage with your back to the crowd or the judge. You sing towards the crowd and you move backward. And then Nerdy took a fall. I suspect the floor may have been a little moist and he fell and he rolled, he recovered. Many people didn't realize he fell. Many people thought it was part of the act. And this is what we want. He looks like a good young man. We clocking out, And it was a fantastic, fantastic, fantastic rendition and performance by him. He won the soca. Well deserved, darling, well deserved. And to T-Blacks, I really couldn't call. I called Arthur and I called Nerdy on the night for them to win. I called them, I said these two are going to win. But I couldn't really call Calypso. It could be maybe I was tired, or maybe, I just wasn't feeling it. But then T-Blacks won, and congratulations to you also, my dear. 3 young men. T-Blacks won. Our monarch, our Calypso monarch, congratulations to you. So we have 3 young men lighting up the place. And when I look at T-Blacks also, he looks like a decent young man that would sing conscious music. When you look at Nerdy in his soca thing, but I haven't heard anything, that's really off from Nerdy. So congratulations to our 3 monarchs. And this is what we want. You do not have to be slutty. You do not have to be singing filth. You do not have to be singing nastiness for you to score. You really don't have to do it. And it was just nice. So all of us are tired. We're watching everything. We're not in the people thing going in the places they have it, but we're home watching on YouTube. And the safest place to be is home. But those who like to go, like I said, to each its own, his own, her own, their own, whatever. But for me, I don't really like crowds. So my people, what we are going to do, we are going to take our first commercial break. Don't miss the Sohria Alexander Show every Monday and Wednesday from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. on Liberty 92.3 FM and Flow Channel 119 Liberty TV. You can also watch live on Facebook and YouTube on Sohria Alexander channels or through the Liberty Media apps. Join us for captivating content and engage in discussions. Mark your calendars for an incredible experience.
Advertise with us today. Call us at 1758-715-9458 or email us at the Sohria Alexander Show at gmail.com. We will introduce your services, events, and products to a massive audience. Our radio, TV, Facebook, YouTube, and apps is going to boost your sales. Learn more at sohriaalexander.com/services.
Yes, and we are back. Remember, if you want to advertise with us, be a sponsor of this fantastic show. Let your brand resonate with our followers, everybody who watches the Sohria Alexander Show. Allow your brand or whatever you do to be advertised with us. So call us today. Now, my people, I am going to read you a quote. And it says, no need for revenge. People who did you wrong will eventually suffer more than you did. And I'm telling you, I'm going to read this for you again. Never, ever, ever want revenge. Show your truth. However, never want revenge. No need for revenge. People who did you wrong will eventually suffer more than you did. And let me tell you something, people. Let us try as human beings to ensure that we have not made anyone suffer, because the suffering that would befall us would be greater than the person we made suffer. So let us be a people that don't seek revenge, but leave it and God will do the rest. Now tonight, people, I really want to talk to you on a very serious topic, because it is something that is killing millions around the world. It is something where I have realized even the companies who sells that product right now are trying to tell people to drink responsibly. They are trying to say to people that you need to be responsible when you put alcohol into your system. And if you are somebody who reads a lot, who watches international news, you would realize that alcohol is one of the number one killers, where people get into severe accidents, fatal accidents, because they cannot think. Their faculties are not together because they are under the influence. Now, we are in the carnival season. Now, and the thing about it, sometimes the people who suffer the pain because of someone not being responsible, because of someone drinking and believing, oh, I can get home from the club or from the party or from carnival or from the show and drink like there is no tomorrow. Sometimes, or most times, they are not the one who dies. It is the innocent person who dies. We have to be very, 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 very careful when it comes to alcohol drinking. And it is true, people are they're talking about weed, right? Marijuana. But if you look at statistics, they would show you that alcohol causes more death than weed, marijuana. People, it is the carnival season. You have to be responsible. And some of the things you can do for yourself, your friends, your family, people you don't even know, is to get a designated driver. Now, at the Soca and Groovy Monarch finals, apparently a lot of vehicles were broken into. And maybe security was very lax, and this is the cause for that. But I'll give you some tips. One of the things you can do, and people, it works because it works for me. If you are going to a function where you have to pack your vehicles and there are a lot of vehicles, and then I don't drink, I will not drink, I'm not a drinker. My liver is intact. I don't drink. So let us carry on. So if you're going to an activity, people, and you're going with your friends, all of y'all drinking, at least get a designated driver. Oh, let me give you a little tip, which I do. I get a driver. I get a taxi. I get somebody to transport me to and fro. To and fro, I get somebody to transport me. And it works very, 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 very well. It works very well. And it saves me money. People, be responsible, because at the end of the day, too many people are going to be affected because you did not think to say, okay, yes, I am drinking, but let me allow one of my friends who don't drink, who is with us, to drive my vehicle or drive us and bring us back home. You need to be responsible around that time. Now, something people say, everybody said, oh, one life to live, I am going to enjoy myself. I agree with you. One life to live, providing that you are the only driver on the road, providing you are the only one living in St. Lucia. Then you can drink how you want, drive on the road, crash in a tree, crash in the sea, and it will be fine because you're the only one living in St. Lucia. But when there are other people residing on the island, you have to be responsible. Just don't drink. But people need that little alcohol into their system for them to feel good. If you cannot party without drinking booze, then you really cannot party. Whenever I go out with my friends, they know so well. Give her orange juice, give so apple juice, give so water. But I'll be truthful with you. Mostly what I drink is water. I drink water. Now I'm not saying, like for instance, I'm not saying that you cannot have a glass of wine, right? Wine would not do me anything, but this is not something I partake in. Wine or alcohol, I don't do that. So when you are the only one driving on the islands of St. Lucia, you can go ahead and drink alcohol like you're going mad. You have to take responsibility for yourself. And you know, when we are here beating up young people or beating up people for weed, do the research and you would see is alcohol causes many deaths. Alcohol is a substance that have killed many people throughout the world. You have to take responsibility for yourself. I cannot take responsibility for you. You have to say to yourself, I am going to enjoy myself. And I know there are many people, and kudos to all of you, who go to these activities and y'all are sober, y'all are okay, you can get home. But the sad thing in all this is that you are sober, you are okay, but somebody may not be sober and find you and kill you or cripple you or hurt you due to them being drunk in a drunken state. I am saying this to you because I know the carnival season, excuse me, my people, I know the carnival season is a buzz, and I know this week until next week is party, fete. Oh, everybody in the element. Have fun. Everybody have their fun differently. This is not my style. But if you are going to have fun, be responsible. And gentlemen, if the ladies are saying to you, I am having my fun, please do not come to whine on me. Please leave me alone. Walk away. But sometimes this is very difficult for the gentlemen to understand, because you know why? They are under the influence of alcohol. So if they are under the influence of alcohol, it is very difficult for them to respect the ladies. This is why I am saying that people must know their limits. We already have so many young men and women dying in our country. We do not want any more at the hands of violence. We do not want any more. We want everybody to go. Everybody have a right to live their life how they want. But you must be mature enough about it and be responsible. Because at the end of the day, sorry doesn't work. Respect each other. And, you know, I'm going to show you a video later on. But respect is no longer there. We see it. We can agree to disagree. But anytime it comes to a physical touch or you invading somebody's space, then you are crossing the line. For instance, we have our reigning carnival queen, Shanice Butcher. Whatever her past, whatever her present, it does not give anybody the right to pelt a bottle at her. What is wrong with us as a people? And this only happens when people do not have emotional intelligence. Yes, you can be upset about something, but to cross the line and take a bottle and hit this young lady on her chest, it is ridiculous. It is totally ridiculous to take a bottle and hit her on her chest. Where is the common decency as a human being to do that? Where is the common decency? People must learn to disagree. But anytime a disagreement leads to violence, it tells me you have a problem as an individual. Because we see it. We have seen it for the past 2 weeks, like 5 young people, they're gone. Because they do not know how to sit and resolve their conflicts. And this is why we need many social intervention programs to arrest this kind of thing happening in our country. Some people will say to you, I am not going to the events because of stuff like that. Now, thank God at those events, we have the SSU guys and the police officers patting you down, searching you down so you don't have any breakable bottle. Could you imagine if that was a breakable bottle? Man, this was just wrong. This is madness. You know, anytime you believe that you disagree with somebody and you have to resort to violence, you have a problem. You are not thinking straight. You have a serious problem. Now, the flip side to this, now people may say it was just a plastic bottle, but that bottle had water. The slightest knock of your body, this bottle could have killed the young lady. And maybe right now, whoever you are, wherever you may be sitting back and saying, oh my God, you know, what so saying is true, you know, I could have killed her. Yes, you could have killed her. And as I said, and I read the little quote for you, and the quote is appropriate for the person who did that. And no need for Miss Butcher to take revenge. Because the person who make her suffer will eventually suffer more than her. So no need for her to take revenge. She's bouncing back from it. We all have made errors in our life, and that is fine. We can all agree to disagree, and that is fine. But when you resort to physically hurting somebody, it means you're mentally insane. It means you're insane. You have mental issues. Because somebody who has their emotions in check would not have done something like that. Somebody who has it all together. And people, it is very nice to see St. Lucians. I am happy that all of y'all came and banded with Shanice and, encouraging her. Let us not only encourage Shanice, let us look for the little ragamuffins, those who commit those kind of crimes. Let us put pressure on the government of St. Lucia that they institute some social programs to help those young people. It is getting crazy. I never knew growing up that we would be taking guns, taking knives to kill each other if we have a problem. People will be rolling in the mud with fist fights and, quarreling with your mouth and thing, not looking for a knife, not even for a piece of wood, just rolling in the mud, fighting, and then finish. When you finish, you dust yourself off and the two of you are walking home smiling. What nonsense is going on in this country that y'all cannot sit and discuss with each other instead of fighting and shooting each other? We are losing our young men to violence. And what happened to Miss Butcher on Friday was an example of the malmess that is pervading our country, where people believe it is their right to hit people. Talk with your mouth. And my mother always says that. Say what you want with your mouth, but do not touch me. Do not say, you can say what you want. Do not go and hit the person. From the time you do that, you have moved into another level of stupidity. And I watched this young lady. I felt for her. I went to bed. I was still speaking about it. I'm like, look at her face. Look at how she was looking. I said, I wish I was there just to hug her. Because in a moment like that, you have to stop the show. You have to stop the show and take care of her. You have to put down the crown or whatever, forget everybody, stop the show, and go hug this young lady. She's very resilient, and I like that about her. She's very resilient. And many of you are not resilient because before somebody says something about you, you're ready to go in a corner in a depressed state, hiding and not wanting to live. But at least she has a past and she also has a future before her to be resilient. To be resilient and say, I am still going to make it. As I said, it is okay for us to have our different opinions about things, but let us agree to disagree and not fight each other. And with this, I'm going to take my second commercial break. Don't miss the Sohria Alexander Show every Monday and Wednesday from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. on Liberty 92.3 FM and Flow Channel 119 Liberty TV. You can also watch live on Facebook and YouTube on Sohria Alexander channels or through the Liberty Media apps. Join us for captivating content and engage in discussions. Mark your calendars for an incredible experience.
Advertise with us today. Call us at 1758-715-9458 or email us at the Sohria Alexander Show at gmail.com. We will introduce your services, events, and products to a massive audience. Our radio, TV, Facebook, YouTube, and apps is going to boost your sales. Learn more at sohriaalexander.com/services.
And we are back. Now, people, what I will do, I will show you the video where Miss Butcher was assaulted. People, stop that nonsense. Stop that nonsense of going and send things at people. We have so much going on in our country already. We have so much going on in our country. Take a listen. Now, when I looked at, this video, it was like an aim directly towards the young lady, right? People, stop that nonsense. Stop that nonsense. What kind of St. Lucia are we breeding? What are we doing? Stop that foolishness. My Lord and my God, it's only a competition. It's Queen Show. Some of us did not like that. She won, they gave it to her. Let us stop that nonsense. Let us stop that foolishness. Some people would go at all lengths to bring somebody down. This is utter rubbish, utter nonsense. How do you feel doing that to a young child, 25 years? I could be her mother. How do you feel? Some of y'all, we like to judge, but some of y'all, as I said, if you want to discuss this thing intellectually, you didn't like this, you didn't like that, I'm fine with that. But if to go down into the gutter, into the trenches, and behave in such a wicked way towards this young lady, and I know she wrote something saying she's okay and she's resilient. I am still asking the authorities, make sure this young lady gets some psychological counseling and help. It's a lot. She's going to deal, and I'm going to be very honest with you, I'm very frank and very bold. She is going to deal with that kind of thing for the next year of her reign. So it's not just having this young lady there looking all pretty and giving the crowns or doing whatever. It is also making sure that you cater to her mental health. It is making sure that you ensure that she is okay, because it's going to be a lot of pressure on her. She is dealing with her past, and she's dealing with some angry birds who want to take her down, and she also has her bright future ahead of her. So those who are in charge, you need to take care of her. You need to take care of her, because when you look at her, she is going to be under so much pressure, more than the past queens. And this is where I'm saying people need to start thinking deeply. We cannot just look at things on the surface, right? We cannot just say, oh, somebody said a bottle at her, they shouldn't do that, or they shouldn't do that. They sent a bottle at her, but we also have to remember she's going to be our queen for the balance of the year until next July, and she'll be going to many different shows, events, functions. Ensure that this young lady has good psychological help. You cannot just leave her on her own. And not only her, all the other queens, and moving forward, ensure that, they get the necessary counseling and help they need. Like some people saying, oh, they have a chaperone. Is the chaperone trained in helping her with her psyche and how she sees things and how people sees things? It goes deeper than that, than just dressing pretty and nicely. Come on, people. Some people have stolen money and nobody knows. Sometimes somebody's past is in front of all of us for us to see because of the nature of what was done. But then, some steal from their employers. Some do a lot of wrong things. And maybe nobody knows. What is wrong with us as a people? What is wrong with us as a people? Let us, and this is why when I wrote about that on my page, I wrote about it in a way where everyone could be drawn into what has happened and understand that there are many factors at play in this situation. Please don't just turn a blind eye, those who are in authority, responsible for this young lady's reign for the next year. You have to be there for, and this is why I'm saying, sometimes being in those big positions, it's not a 24/7, it's not a 8 to 5 job, it's like a 24/7 job, especially when you have to be at events and different stuff. You have to ensure that this young lady has the support she needs. It is very, very crucial. And I hope y'all are listening tonight. It was just wrong to send that bottle at this young lady. Totally wrong. Where are we going as a people, said Lucia, when we have to be fighting for each other? Where are we going? Now, the HTS reporter, I know a lot of people will give in a flag, and this is where I say you have to be professional. If something is thrown on the stage, number one, you don't know if it hurt somebody, you didn't know what was it. You remain professional. You have to remain professional. And maybe that's a learning point for this new journalist to realize, like, hey, when something like that happens, you keep it neutral. You do not do like you very happy about it. It does not look professional, especially for a big company like Helen Television System. Right? So we have to be careful. Not everything. And you see, we are too laid back in this country. And maybe that's why a lot of things are not progressing. We are too laid back. We are laid back. The things we have to be discussing, we don't discuss them. You know what we like? Why the soaps. Look, that's what you like. Or the politicians. Oh, that's what we like. But to discuss the things that would make us better or make you better, you don't do it. And as I have said, people, I know I've been talking. As I have said, you can support the Sohria Alexander Show. This is your time. For those who are not companies, this is your time where you can support Sohria Alexander Show. You can buy coffees for those on TV, Facebook, YouTube. You can take your phone camera, point it to the Scan Me, and then pop, it would send you to my Buy Me a Coffee link where you support the show. You can become a member, supporting me on a monthly basis, or you can just buy coffees, one coffee. Now, everything on the site is in US dollars. Okay? So this is a way you can support me. Or those on YouTube and Facebook, you can also, more Facebook, you can support me with both stars and coffees. This is a way you support a good and excellent content creator that comes here to give you good food. So once again, if you want to support the show, you can take your phone camera, put it on Scan Me, and it's gonna send you directly to my Buy Me a Coffee link where you can support me. So this is one way of supporting the Sohria Alexander Show. Now, my people, I'm getting back on us because I find that we need to behave ourselves. We need to behave ourselves. There are many other events that are taking place. There are many other events that are taking place. Respect yourself. If you respect yourself, you're not gonna hurt somebody else. Now I have people, who are saying that, they want to go, but because of people just behaving, this sort of way, they do not want to go. You are the cause for people not wanting to go to enjoy themselves. You are the cause. We need to stop this foolishness. If you respect yourself as a solution, as a person, as an individual, you will not, as a man, as a woman, as a boy, or as a girl, you will not go out there and do this kind of nonsense. The international stage, the world, they are watching the foolishness we did. And I realized Carnival St. Lucia, I don't know if it's back, I haven't checked yet, but I know they, blocked that feed, the YouTube feed, for us not to be able to access it again until maybe they fix up whatever. The world is watching us, and look at how we're behaving like we still in the Stone Age, killing each other, pelting bottles at each other, instead of saying, you have your opinion, I have my opinion, we cool, I go about my business. But no, I must show you I'm so upset with you that I have to sign a bottle. We must behave ourselves as a people. We must behave ourselves. And let me tell you something, my people. I really want you to sit back. Radio land, you're gonna listen, and those, TV land, social media, you'll be able to see. I want you to sit back and listen to how alcohol affects your body, because some of you, and the sad thing, I am seeing many young people, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, they drink heavily. And we had something saying before, the men were the ones drinking alcohol. The men were the ones, who was like, a two-sab drinking alcohol. Really? The women packing down the alcohol. I tell you, I went to shop. I can't remember if it's the cul-de-sac supermarket. I went there, and let me tell you, I saw some senior ladies buying a serious alcohol to drink, Let me tell you, the women drinking more alcohol than men now. But one thing I can tell you that the men have taken over from the women is gossiping. The men are gossiping more than women these days. What's going on? What nonsense is that? The men are gossiping more than women these days. The women packing down some serious alcohol and the men gossiping. Lord. Anyway, my sweet people, let us look at the video.
Some call it the elixir of the gods. Others call it hooch. A fancy cocktail might taste good, but it comes at a price. Your health. Let's find out what the actual benefits are to giving up alcohol. Seconds after you stop drinking, your liver slowly filters out the toxins and sugars found in the alcohol. The molecule ethanol is what makes you feel drunk. It does this by binding to receptors in your brain. Most notably, ethanol binds to glutamate neurotransmitters, which in turn causes the brain to respond slower to stimuli. Along with glutamate neurotransmitters, there are several other receptors that ethanol binds with that slows brain function. The result of these inhibited receptors is what we call drunkenness. The reversal of this process can take a while, and the hangover that ensues after a heavy night of drinking is a mix of your body trying to get rid of the ethanol and other harmful molecules, along with dehydration. Unfortunately, if enough ethanol builds up in your system, it can kill you. After about an hour, your body has filtered your blood several times and metabolized the drinks you've had. The time it takes your body to break down the alcohol directly correlates to the amount consumed. About an hour after you stop drinking, your body starts to feel tired due to the high amount of energy it uses to remove the alcohol from your blood. And since it takes about 6 hours for your body to completely break down all the ethanol in your system and bring the sugar, water, and other nutrient levels back to normal, the lingering effects of drunkenness will persist. After you've had your last sip of alcohol, your body needs to rest more than usual to recover from your attempts to poison it. Unfortunately, until you get past this stage, it's difficult to have a good night's sleep. In fact, research suggests that alcohol actually increases alpha wave patterns in your brain, which are only supposed to be present while you're awake. This implies that alcohol tricks the brain into thinking the body is awake when it's really trying to sleep. But there is good news. If you manage to not drink for 6 to 12 hours, your body physically starts to change for the better. For one thing, alcohol has been shown to weaken your immune system. This might leave you susceptible to viruses and bacteria that are present at bars and parties. About 24 hours after you stop drinking, however, your immune system returns to normal. This is the first of many changes that will occur from sobriety. If you're a heavy drinker or an alcoholic, another much more noticeable change to your body will occur around 24 hours after you stop drinking. This is when withdrawal really starts to kick in. Your body may still crave the chemical changes that occur when you drink, and therefore you would start to develop symptoms such as the shakes, cold sweats, increased pulse, nausea, and anxiety. These will eventually pass, but the amount of time these withdrawals last is based on each person and how much alcohol they usually consume on a daily basis. Congratulations! If you make it to 3 to 5 days without drinking, the real benefits of sobriety start to kick in. You may find that your blood pressure begins to drop, and you will overall feel less stressed. Doctors often recommend that people with high blood pressure reduce the amount of alcohol they consume. So even if this is not your goal, less than a week after you stop drinking, your body will be grateful for that much-needed break. You also might notice your appetite begins to decrease about a week after you stop consuming alcohol. This is one of the reasons that people tend to lose weight when they quit drinking. The other reason is that on average, each drink you're consuming contains a couple hundred calories. And since the sugars in alcohol don't break down in your body very well, much of it gets stored as fat. If you can give up drinking for an entire week, you may also find your skin looks and feels better. This is because your body is now more hydrated. Not only does alcohol make you pee more often, but it also decreases your antidiuretic hormone levels, which plays a role in allowing your body to reabsorb water. Somewhere around the 7-day mark after you stop drinking, these hormone levels are back to normal and your body is retaining more water. This is good not only for your skin, but for your body overall. Again, it's important to remember that the time between when you stop drinking and start seeing these benefits will vary depending on the person and how much alcohol they previously consumed. A couple of weeks without alcohol, and you might find your cognitive abilities start to improve. This is because the brain, like many parts of your body, is resilient. The damage done to your neural pathway by the ethanol can be reversed. You will never regain memories from when you blacked out while drinking or recover thoughts that were obliterated from overconsumption of alcohol, but many of your neural connections will heal themselves over the coming weeks and months. You'll see even bigger benefits if you quit for more than 1 or 2 weeks. Without the pressure of filtering alcohol, your kidneys will begin to repair themselves. Like the liver, the kidneys filter out toxins. They're not quite as affected by alcohol as the liver is, but overconsumption can definitely cause damage over time. After a couple of weeks of no drinking, the kidneys will heal enough to maintain proper fluid levels, waste excretion, and hormone balances. If enough damage is caused to the kidneys from excessive drinking, you will feel much better once they're healed. The organ that takes the brunt of the damage when you drink is the liver. It's a vital structure, and without it, you can't survive. So about 3 weeks to a month after you completely stop drinking, your liver will begin to thank you. It's around then that the tissue will start to regenerate fully and the liver will repair itself. Without having to worry about alcohol, the liver can focus on breaking down other toxins that are produced by the body, which overall will make you feel healthier. The regeneration of damaged tissue takes time, but it happens much quicker when you stop drinking. A month or 2 after your last sip of alcohol, your liver will begin working at full power again. Just reducing the amount of alcohol you consume on a weekly basis can be beneficial for your liver. But if you really want to thank this vital organ for all it's done to keep you alive, there is nothing better than giving it a rest from breaking down alcohol. And if liver regeneration wasn't a big enough benefit, there's another major change that will occur to your body after not drinking for around a month or two. I'm sure you've heard that a glass of wine a day can improve the health of your heart. Well, too much drinking can also damage your heart and increase your chances of having a heart attack or a stroke. Around 2 months after you stop drinking, your heart will have repaired most of the damage caused by overconsumption of alcohol. However, the best thing you can do to increase heart strength is to exercise. By reducing or completely stopping your alcohol consumption and exercising more, your heart can become stronger and healthier. Even though this next change doesn't directly impact your body, something amazing happens when you stop drinking for a few months. Your bank account suddenly starts looking healthier too. Having more money could lead to less stress in your life, which would definitely be beneficial to your health. Research has shown that people who drink socially end up spending between $500 to $1,200 on alcohol annually. But if you live in a more expensive city and enjoy going out for drinks frequently, these numbers can be much higher. People who stop drinking have noticed that the money they saved was enough for a down payment on a car or to take the vacation they've always wanted to go on. These are clearly positive impacts on your life that may result in less stress and increased happiness. Interestingly, stress has a very similar effect on the body as alcohol does. It can increase blood pressure, cause heart problems, negatively affect your skin, and cause depression. Months after you stop drinking, your body might feel 100 times better due to a combination of less stress and allowing your organs to repair themselves. One of the most surprising changes to your body after you stop drinking happens without you feeling anything. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services has found that alcohol can be a carcinogen. This means that there's a chance the substance can cause cancer. The research suggests that people who consume large amounts of alcohol are at a higher risk for certain types of cancer, which makes sense when you think about it. Since your body technically sees alcohol as a toxin and your liver is responsible for removing that toxin, it's no surprise that people who are heavy drinkers have a high risk of developing liver cancer. Some research also suggests that alcohol can cause an increase of cancer in the esophagus as well. More research needs to be done, but there does seem to be a correlation between heavy alcohol consumption and increased risk of cancer. This means that once you stop drinking, you're actually lowering your chances of your body developing cancer, and this benefit doesn't just persist for a few years, but for the rest of your life. Just to be clear, most doctors and scientists agree that occasionally drinking alcohol poses very minimal health risks. In fact, consuming alcohol in moderation might have some health benefits. However, health problems arise when overconsumption occurs. But to be fair, this is true with almost anything you put into your body. When you stop drinking, your body goes through several changes over time. But even if you only reduce the amount you drink, similar beneficial effects can occur. If you're planning to do something like Sober January, or want to cut off alcohol for a bit and see how it goes, just know that you will definitely feel better after the initial shock to your system. However, the health effects that come from long-term sobriety probably won't occur in just a single month. If you want to drink from time to time, that's okay. You can still receive some of the benefits mentioned in this video just by limiting your alcohol consumption to 1 drink or less a day. By reducing alcohol intake, your body can recover and you can live a long and happy life, while also having a glass of hooch every now and then. Now watch Most Expensive Drink in the World, or check out I Went to a Bar Alone and This Is What Happened.
Yes, my people, I showed you that video for you to understand that alcohol is not your friend. It is not the friend of your liver. It is the enemy of your liver. And you heard what he said. Stop drinking alcohol and you would see the benefits to you as a person. Your liver and your body will be so happy that you stop drinking. You know, people, I never understand why people drink so much. Right? I just don't understand. And I see people when they take let's say they have, I don't even know what they call it, but they have their drinks. If let me tell you something. I don't know no names of alcohol drinks, because that's not me. Let me tell you something, people. When I go out, I ask what I really love, because I am a milk person. I love milk. And Doc always say to me, you're not supposed to be drinking milk. I like cheese too. You're not supposed to be drinking cheese. But I do it moderately. Right? And these days the weather is a bit crazy and I suffer with sinus. Not the drip sinus, just the congestion in my eyes, around my head. And when I go out, since I love milk, excuse me, since I love milk, what I ask for is a virgin pina colada. I love it. I just love it. I love it. Or I love orange juice and I love apple juice, okay? And I'm fine. Always sober. And people, there are little things you can do to help yourself. You know, and some people are of the view that if they don't drink, that they're not gonna have a good time, or they did not have a good time. Oh, I need rum, eh? Free rum. Oh, I need rum. I need rum. Oh, I need rum. I need rum. My rum is water. My rum is water. I love water. Drink water. And let me tell you, when you stop, and ladies, let's rock, ladies. Ladies, you know, for me, a 53-year-old woman, I have a pretty flat stomach, right? But let me tell you, when we walk in town, there are so many pregnant men. Their stomachs are huge in front of them. And you know why? It's because of alcohol. And ladies, if your stomach is very huge in front of you too, it's because of alcohol. Stop drinking that thing. And you will see, and there have some people who stopped drinking the alcohol, but you know, it was a little too late and they got kidney diseases and all those sorts of stuff. But people, it is never too late. It is never too late to start something good now. It is never too late. Like I said, everybody can go out and have some fun. But while you're going out and have some fun, be responsible. Do not go out there when it's carnival and you're so drunk that you don't know who you slept with. Then a child 9 months later on, you don't know who is this child's father, and the circle continues. The circle continues. Like I said, everybody has their way to have fun. Mine is not that, but if that is your way, you have to be responsible. We've had enough bad news in St. Lucia, and I personally believe that we as St. Lucians, we need to draw closer to God. I believe St. Lucia likes a lot of bacchanal, a lot of fete, but sometimes when you realize the level of crime and what is going on in our country, we need to run to the cross. We really need to ask God for his divine intervention, because no intervention is going to make anything work right now. It takes divine intervention, and our Heavenly Father must be able to see that we are willing to make the change, because he will not come beg you to do what is right. You want to kill people, you want to drink alcohol, you want to drive under the influence, he will not come from heaven to tell you don't do it, because he gave you the choice. He gave you the wisdom to say no or yes. It is a personal decision that you have to make, to say to yourself, I will do better, I can do better. It's a personal decision. And this is what we have to take responsibility for. The person who sent the bottle at the young lady, it was their personal decision to do that. And then if you were caught, you would say, oh, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, I don't know what was going through my head. Oh, No. Let us be responsible for our actions. Let us be responsible for the things we say and the things we do. Let me tell you, if you really want a role model, go read the Bible. Go read the Holy Bible. Everything we are or have gone through in life, it is in the Bible. It is in the Bible. And as I said to you, when you come to my show, it's going to be different. It's going to be very, very different. And we are going to take our final commercial break. Don't miss the Sohria Alexander Show every Monday and Wednesday from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. on Liberty 92.3 FM and Flow Channel 119 Liberty TV. You can also watch live on Facebook and YouTube on Sohria Alexander channels or through the Liberty Media apps. Join us for captivating content and engage in discussion. Mark your calendars for an incredible experience.
Advertise with us today. Call us at 1758-715-9458 or email us at the Sohria Alexander Show at gmail.com. We will introduce your services, events, and products to a massive audience. Our radio, TV, Facebook, YouTube, and apps is going to boost your sales. Learn more at sohriaalexander.com/services.
So yes, my people, feel free to call us or email us and we will help you with your advertising. Advertise with us. Positive show. We see that a lot of the advertising dollars go to the parties, the carnival, the jazz, the this, the that. But you know, there are positive shows where you can also advertise, a show you can make your home. So advertise with us. I am hoping tonight that my message to you was one that was really touching, one that made you think, one that will allow you to say to others, please be responsible. Be responsible, people. At the end of the day, we only have one life. Nobody has come back from the afterlife to say to us how the afterlife is. Nobody has come back to say anything to us. So we have to be responsible while we have our little time on this earth. Many young people are not living to see my age. I'm 53 years. Some women are very ashamed. They don't want to say their age. Not me. I look good for my 53. I'm a spring chicken. I give them the young girls competition. So, you know, people, we are responsible for ourselves. Too many young people are dying. I do not like to hear that. So if all the young people are dying, what is going to happen? Remember, be responsible.
All of the things I'm talking, not there, yeah. Try what you not do if you're not if, yeah. My mind they tell me to disappear, yeah. So come and help me, cause I don't pray, my man. I don't pray, come on man. I can't stay for one